Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to La Fortuna in Costa Rica. I'm going to talk to you when we get back from our hike today about the journey here, about my first impressions, about what we've been doing the past couple of days, because we actually arrived on Saturday and today is Tuesday and it's our first real day trip. So I'll talk to you about all of that when we get back, but for now we're going to be going on a hike. There are several hikes you can do here. A lot of them are a bit more expensive, around $25–30 each. So we've come to one today that's $10 each. So we got an Uber here this morning. It took about 20 or 25 minutes, something like that. We arrived and there's a little shed behind me, which is where you can book your tickets. And they also have a map, which I'm going to leave on screen so you can see. But we're going to follow route number 3 round to the right and then work our way up over to the rocks of the volcano and then around by the left. And I think he said it should take about an hour and a half or 2 hours. So I'm so excited. Also in the taxi on the way here, we drove straight past the volcano and we had a really amazing view out the window. So I'm going to pop that on screen as well so you can see. But yeah, super excited to hike here. I think we're going to see lots of nature. I've already seen a hummingbird, which is amazing. So yeah, really excited. So we've put on bug spray, and if you watch the last videos, you will know that it makes my arms swell. So I'm looking forward to that later on. But we have, listen. Anyway, we have cameras. We have my camera with 2 lenses, tripod, Jeremy's drone, and obviously I'm vlogging as well, so hopefully we'll get lots of awesome content today if we see lots of animals. I'm also looking for sloths and toucans in particular. Monkeys I'm not as impressed with since we saw loads last year in Asia. And yes, this is like the actual jungle that we're hiking through. It's really dense and green. Cute. We're crossing over this little bridge. Jeremy's photographing the bird that's there. So Jeremy got one photo of that bird and then it flew off, so I'm going to pop it on screen. But we've just heard howler monkeys, I think it was, some like growling. It's funny because you sometimes think, oh, maybe it's a jaguar or something a bit scary, but I think it is just howler monkeys. I don't think we've seen them, have we, howlers? Yeah.
I did, you did that.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen them.
Because they didn't come out at night.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh, apparently Jeremy's got pictures of howler monkeys from the last place we stayed at in Tortuguero.
It's a fully black monkey. It's
Just a black monkey?
It's literally like all black. The face, the hair, like everything.
Okay. Anyway, we're carrying on through. I'll let you know if we see anything else exciting. Oh my god guys, I am dying. I thought it was going to be like a gentle walk. There's loads of steps and they're big steps as well, so I am sweating. If you look at my arm, you can just see how wet I am. So yeah, I'm struggling. Also not wearing the correct shorts because like I said, I thought it was just a little bit of a walk. So I'm not wearing my like gym, like cycling shorts. So they're kind of getting in the way and they're annoying me. But hopefully we're on the way to the lake up here. Jeremy said he spotted a boar. 4 boars, oh my god. Are they dangerous though? So we just saw a wild boar. There's about 5 or 6 of them maybe. And then above us there was monkeys. Oh, Jeremy got a picture. I'll pop it on screen. Above us there was monkeys, so there was like stuff dropping. And then there was like 5 or 6 boars, something like a family. And I think they heard us to begin with, so they kind of went away. But then when we sort of stood still for a couple of minutes, they came back out and we could see them foraging and things. So the footage was very bad because I zoomed right into 7. I don't have a new iPhone. We've now come to the viewpoints. Let me show you that. So this is the viewpoint. Obviously, usually you'll be able to see the volcano in its entirety, but it's covered in clouds today, which I think if you come in rainy season like we are right now, you're probably going to get clouds. But it's pretty nonetheless. And Jeremy's still looking for his boar friends. So that apparently wasn't even the viewpoint, because the viewpoint is this way, 500 metres. I thought we were heading towards a lake, but I don't really know. Because the map they give you is kind of cartoony, and then we got to a point where there was like 4 different roads coming off. It's like where we'd come off, there was to the right, sort of to the right, and then straight forward. And on the map, it makes it look like you kind of have to take the sort of right one, but I was like, no, I think we have to take the first right one, so we did. Oh, I think we are heading towards the lake, which is good, but it's not super clear, to be honest. Look at that for a viewpoint. Gorgeous husband, that's a greenery, and a lake in the background. Okay, since I got bitten by an ant last week and my face and my chest exploded in spots, I'm now scared of ants. But look at this ant's nest. You can see them all. It's like a waterfall of ants coming down. That's the nest, and then it just keeps going down the hill. I don't know if you're going to be able to see. Let me zoom in a little bit. And apparently it keeps going all the way down, Jeremy just said. Oh, gross. Isn't that awful? Okay, we've made it to the car park. We're now going to go this way to walk on lava from the 1968 eruption. We're on the path towards the lava. I think I'm going to have a sit down when we get there, eat some biscuits because we've not had breakfast yet, which is kind of crazy doing like, I don't know, 6-kilometre hike without food. But I've got some biscuits and I'm going to have some water and have a bit of a sit down because I am so freaking hot. It is sweaty AF. And the mountain is still covered, so we're hoping it uncovers a little bit so Jeremy can get some pictures with the drone and with the camera and stuff, but we'll see. It doesn't look like it. Okay, so we're going towards the lava field and there's a sign for sloths, so maybe they have a resident sloth that lives here, so if we find him or her, we'll let you know. Jeremy's just spotted the squirrel. So this is the path we're currently on. I really didn't think it'd be like an actual hike. I thought it was more of a walk, but there are so many steps. Just an FYI. Okay, so we got to where we think the volcano erupted, but we're still not sure because it just looks like rock versus volcanic rock, if that makes sense. Let me show you our view though. So we're currently walking this way. I think we're going to carry on and see if we can continue that way, which I think we can because a couple of people have gone there. This is the volcano that's obviously covered in clouds. And this is what I mean by, like, I'm not sure if that's volcanic rock or just regular rock, but there are some pieces that you can find on the floor. Like this one, for example, that I'm pretty sure is volcanic rock. It's got all the holes in it. So that's cool. There are some pieces here. And then over there, you can see the green lake. And I think we walked past that on the way back. And that's the car park we were just at when I told you earlier. So we're quite high. And this is the view. It is a shame this is covered, but I think it's probably covered a lot of the time, to be honest. I think it's just the microclimate here. But anyway, let's keep going. So we thought the path might continue that way. So Jeremy's gone that way. But then we crossed to go and she said she doesn't think it goes that way because she tried and it was too hard. But this is the view. It's amazing. I'm going to ask Jeremy to get a couple more pictures for me. Okay, so it's 10:30, so we've been hiking for 2.5 hours so far. I think we've been stopped for probably half an hour, something like that, to take photographs. Jeremy flew the drone for a little bit, just kind of sit and have snacks and things. So I've been sat for a little while, but yeah, it's already 10:30. So I think we're now just going to head back. The good thing about this hike is there's lots of different options. So you can just walk like the short option. You can park just where the car park was earlier and just come and see this if you want. So I don't know if we're going to do the long route home, not home, but you know, back to the beginning, or if we're going to do a shorter route. But I feel so much better for sitting down. I get so exhausted. Like, I can walk all day if it's flat, but as soon as it goes uphill, I'm like dying. So it's been good so far. I'm enjoying it. I wish we had a better view of the mountain, of the volcano, because as you can see it's all covered with clouds, but apart from that it's been good. So Jeremy's drone is beeping, but I thought I'd show you quickly the green lake here. I think we walked past it. I don't know how close we're actually going to get, but yeah, I thought I'd show you that. Another look at the volcano before we go probably back into the forests. Okay guys, we've made it to the green lake. Did I just slip and slide twice? Yes. Am I okay? Also yes. The first time, like, my foot kind of, because there's like steps but they're soil, like ground, and they're quite slidey, so the first one my foot kind of slid down and then ended up falling on my bum, And then the second one on my right foot, I stepped down, but like for some reason my ankle sort of went wonky. So I sort of stood wonky and like fell like that. So yeah, it was literally one after the other. Anyway, I'm doing all right. I literally did the second one and started laughing, so I'm obviously not in pain. But we have come to the Green Lake, so I thought I would show you. This is the current view. I understand why they call it a green lake. It is absolutely covered in algae or something. Jeremy's sat up here on the rocks. I'm going to go and join him, but yeah, it's a lovely view. So this is the view from the little seat that Jeremy was sitting at. That's on wide angle so you can see the whole thing.
I'm taking over the vlog because Rosie is going back through the normal path. I've heard toucan. I can't see them, but I recognize the sound from last time. There's a tree blocking up the road. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to pass. But yeah, so far so good. It's pretty cool here, especially under the rain. But this is really in the middle. It's actually pretty well blocked up, so yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go under. Don't know.
Okay guys, it's currently like 11:15. I separated from Jeremy at about 11:05 or 11 o'clock, something like that. He went, I think, number 2, where it's a bit more windy, and I thought I'd come down the main road. Now on the map, the main road looks straight. It's actually quite zigzagged as well. Like you can see there, it goes up around the corner, and even down here it goes down and round. And it's also quite steep. So I think walking back down is good, but I think walking up would be quite steep. I mean, obviously we hiked loads on the way up there. So it does make sense that it's steep, but I think when you look at the map, you might think, oh, the main road's just quick and easy. It is quite steep. So I don't know if you can really tell from this view, but this is kind of how steep it is. So I've come to a section here. This might be where Jeremy comes out, but it doesn't say number 2. So I don't think I'm going to wait here just because I'm not entirely sure. I'll wait for him at reception where we paid. But yeah, if you can see how steep that is, like that's me looking forwards. So it's quite steep, and then the reception should be 100 meters down here.
There's a cool bird here. Looks like sort of kingfisher, but I doubt it's that. I think it's a motmot like we saw in Peru, because you can see the tail here. Looks like a clock, like the bottom bit, like the one that we saw in Peru. This one here and one here. On this one you can really see the end of the tail, so it could be a local motmot.
Oh, there's a hummingbird on this flower. Wow.
Nice, another tree on the way. This tree is gigantic. I don't really know how to show you, but like that's me here at the side of it, and there's still all that all that bit. It's gigantic. It's crazy. Just so I don't forget, I just met a guy who's looking for birds, and he confirmed that he was a motmot guy, so he's looking for a specific sort of motmot. There's a bunch of them here. I told him I heard toucan, and he said that the different kind of toucan do different sound. So the one that sounds like a frog that we saw and I heard, it's like the one with a rainbow beak. But he said like other one do a different sound, so you can identify them based on the sound that they do, which one it is, which I didn't know. That's cool.
So this is the map of where we've just been. We started here, went along here, all the way up to here. And this is a section where I said that you kind of have to turn back on yourself. So it's actually, this sort of comes in like here, and you have to basically turn your back on yourself to see the lake view, which honestly wasn't amazing. It looks like it's a lot closer here, but it isn't. Walk all the way along and then go up to see the lava, and then you kind of come back down through this way, and then that's where me and Jeremy came to here and walked to here. That's where Jeremy went, so he went off onto the number 2, which is all the way down here. That's where I thought he would come out, which is probably it, and I'm now just going to wait for him here. So very deceptive, this map. It's not at all what it shows.
One of those big birds, kind of like a turkey. I'm back on the road now. It took me about 27 minutes to do this second part, so pretty quick. Up and down, up and down. Yeah, so I'm gonna join Rosie now.
Okay guys, I am reunited with Jeremy. Apparently he did some Jeremy cam, so that you'll have seen that, which is good. I haven't seen it yet, but you have. We're now going to walk, I think it's about 10 minutes on the road, to try and find the path down to the natural springs. On the way up here, I saw one gate, which it might be that. So I watched a YouTube video of some girl being like, I've just parked on the road, you just walk past this gate and it's down here. So hopefully we find it, because that would be really nice to fit in some hot springs.
Because we're not hot enough.
Because we're not hot enough. Yeah, it's not going to be refreshing at all, but I think it will be nice for the muscles after our hike. So it should just be about a 10-minute walk, and then we'll have to try and find Wi-Fi to get a taxi for an Uber. Okay, I'll chat to you when we get to the water. So we have been walking down the road. Sorry, there's cars. And I think it was something like this that I saw in the video, and I only saw it really quickly. So we're going to have a look down here, and then if not, we'll go back on the road and keep looking. But it's something like this as a path, and then it leads down to the hot springs. So maybe it is here. So there's a ramp here, which means I'm going to slip and die. That's fun. And then some steps down. So we're hoping this is the way. Okay, Jeremy went down and realised it's a zip line thing. Okay, so we're going to continue down the road. I'll let you know if we do find the hot springs, obviously. So there's a guy and some cars down here, so we think maybe that is where we need to go. So there's some cars parked up here, so hopefully it's down here somewhere. So Jeremy just asked the car guy and he said to keep going, so we're going to hopefully find it. Okay, there's people coming out from down there, so we found it. Oh yeah, I can see people in the water. Okay, down there. So I think there's a hotel or two there, but there's a bridge, and then there's this. So there's a sign saying private property, and you go down here, okay? Okay, we found it. Yay. This is exciting. So you do literally step through a fence. Like there's no, I don't know, there's no path, there's no one at the door or anything. It's literally just through a fence. And then you're at the hot springs, which I've never been in a hot spring before, so I'm excited about this. Okay guys, so I'm in the hot spring. I've never been in a hot spring before, so my mind is blown. It's basically a river with hot water, like actually hot water. I feel cold stepping out, and we all know how hot I was earlier. It's absolutely gorgeous. I just can't believe I've never been in a hot spring before. Really, really worth coming to, really enjoying it, and yeah, I'm going to soak a little bit more. Hi guys, so you might be able to hear the AC. You might also hear some cars and things, but I'm going to do my best. I can't turn the AC off because it is absolutely fucking boiling here, and I can't deal with that. I'm from England. I'm used to the cold, not Costa Rican heat. But I have to update you on what happened, not yesterday, the day before. So today is Thursday. Yesterday we had a work day. But Tuesday was the day we went and did the hike and then went into the hot springs. And the vlog just kind of ended because we had a bit of a nightmare. So I was just enjoying the hot springs. Jeremy didn't come in because he couldn't be bothered like getting dressed, taking his shoes off, getting dry, all the rest of it. And when I was in there, it started raining. So Jeremy was just stood in the rain, and I was like, okay, I feel bad, let's go. So I packed up our things. I quickly put on my shorts over my wet swimsuit, so I was obviously wet, and we decided to walk. We didn't have signal to get an Uber home, so we decided to walk up to the hotel that's literally just next door, and there was people outside, like doormen almost, and I was like, hola, ¿tiene Wi-Fi, por favor? And he was just like, why do you want Wi-Fi? And I was like, oh, just to get an Uber home. And he was like, if you want to get a taxi home back to La Fortuna, you can ask this guy and he'll book a taxi. And we thought, no, it's going to be like twice the price, and it's not as safe. Like with Uber, they obviously like track your location and the price is set and things like that, rather than a random taxi that can just charge you whatever they want. So we were like, no thank you, we just want the Wi-Fi. And he was like, we don't have Wi-Fi. And I was like, that's a lie, it's a hotel, of course you have Wi-Fi. Anyway, so walked back down through the rain, down this hill, past the hot springs, and back up to where we had asked the guy for directions, and we asked him if he had Wi-Fi, if we could connect to his Wi-Fi, and he was like, no, I don't have internet, sorry, can't do that. Jeremy heard him say, do you have a number of a taxi? I didn't hear him say that, but Jeremy thought that he was saying, if you have a number for a taxi, I can call up for you. And obviously we don't, because we were just getting Ubers. So we kept walking up until that point where the first kind of road that we went down, which was the wrong direction, because we got internet when we were up there. So it went all the way back up there, like literally, it was absolutely hammering it down. And we were walking like up this steep hill in the rain, getting absolutely drenched. I got internet connection, but Jeremy didn't, so he connected to my phone and was on Uber. And obviously when you're trying to use a phone when it's raining, you know, it's really hard to like press the buttons because your phone just stops working. So he was really struggling with Uber. He managed to get it like to the page where you say where you are and then where you want to go, and he was trying to press like save or like, you know, order the taxi kind of thing, and then the internet stopped and it wouldn't come back. So we were like, oh, for fuck's sake, what do we do? Okay, we can't obviously get an Uber because we don't have internet. We're gonna have to pay for one of these expensive taxis. So I made our way back down to the guy who gave us the directions, and we were like, hi, okay, can you order us a taxi? So he was on the phone to his friend for like 5-10 minutes. It was a bit like 1 minute, and I was like, how long is it going to be? And he was like, 1 minute. And I was just like, okay. We're like literally drenched in this torrential rain. And we ended up waiting about 10 minutes because he said a taxi was going to be about 15 minutes. And then a car pulled up and was like, Jeremy? And we were like, what? And he was the Uber. So the Uber had ordered and had worked without us even knowing. And we got in the Uber. And then in Costa Rica, and I think it also happened in Mexico, you have to give them a code before they can start driving to know where you are and to make sure it's the same people being picked up and dropped off and stuff. But we didn't have internet, so we couldn't give them the code. So I was like, you just need to start driving to La Fortuna and then we'll give you the code when we get internet again. So it was just such a bloody faff. It was so annoying. Got home eventually, but I think we spent maybe an hour in the rain, like walking up to the hotel, walking back down, walking up, walking back down, waiting for the taxi. The Uber eventually came, so probably like at least half an hour, probably an hour, just in this torrential rain, trying to get ourselves home. So that was a bloody nightmare. Would not recommend. I think hiring a car in Costa Rica is really popular, and I can see why, because if you go somewhere and you don't have Wi-Fi, you can't get home again. So it's just kind of not super practical. So we obviously came home, got dry, got showered, put our clothes out to dry as well, and did some work and whatever else, I don't even remember. And then yesterday we had just a work day because we know that the next couple of days we're going to be travelling, and I wanted to go to a hot springs like spa thing this afternoon. So we're going to be going today at about 4 p.m. We're going to Ecothermales, which there's lots of different hotels and spas that you can go to, and even though I enjoyed going to the hot springs on Tuesday, you are literally in a river, so anytime like a leaf touches you, well, it touched me at least, I freaked out thinking it was like a fish biting me or something. And you're obviously in with like mud and dirt and silt and just stuff in the water. So I bloody loved it, but I do think like a hotel spa environment would be just way more relaxing. So I had a look at lots of different ones. There are lots of different hotels you can go to, like really posh ones with like views of the mountain, the volcano. There's some that just are a little bit less nice, I guess. They can get expensive. Some of the ones I was looking at was like €100 per person, which we didn't want to do. We didn't want to spend 200 quid on like a couple of hours sitting in hot water. We booked in Ecothermales. We're going today. They have 2 time slots. I think it's from like 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. or 10 a.m. till 4 p.m, something like that, and then 5 p.m. until 9:45. So we're doing that evening slot just because I think sitting in hot water in the middle of the day might not be ideal, and I also think it'd be nice to see it during the day and also at night time and like as the sun sets and things. So we're doing that today, which should be lovely. Couple of things I want to talk about La Fortuna, because it's interesting, Costa Rica. I really thought it'd be more like Bali, but I don't really know what that means. I think just like I was expecting more like cute hotels and nice architecture and like, I don't know, that kind of vibe. It seems a little bit dodgy here, I'll be honest. We went to the supermarket twice now, and both times there's men sat outside drinking alcohol. Like you can see them coming out with a bottle of vodka or something, they shove it down their pants, then they pour it into like a Coke bottle and sit and drink that. So there's a lot of drunk people. There's also people selling drugs, which we've seen a few times throughout our travels, obviously. But here they literally have a box of mushrooms. They stand on the street with mushrooms. We went for a walk one evening and it just felt a little bit sketchy and a little bit like, ooh, I don't know if I like it here. So there's that. It's also super touristy, but like not in a good way. Like sometimes it's touristy in a good way and it's lovely. Sometimes it's not so much. So I think La Fortuna is great if you want to go kayaking, if you want to go hiking, mountain biking, sit in hot springs, go and see sloths, do any kind of, I'm sure there's zip lining, probably canoeing and kayaking, and like it just seems like a really outdoorsy adventure place, which is brilliant. We are digital nomads on a budget, so we can't afford to do everything. So we did a hike 2 days ago, the one that you saw, and that cost us €10 each, whereas there's other hikes that cost like 25 or more per person to do a hike, and it annoys me when nature is blocked off and you have to pay to do things in nature. Same with the sloths. I think a lot of the land around here is privately owned, so they charge you like $60 to go on their land and look for sloths, or like go and see the sloths, and it's kind of a bit like, well, you know, they're just in their natural habitat in the wild. I feel like it should just be open for people to go and enjoy, or at least be cheaper. I think €60 per person to see sloths is a lot. And also in terms of the hot springs, so there's that one that I went to 2 days ago that I showed you, but a lot of the access to the hot springs is owned by private property, so they have it going through their hotel, or they have whatever private property, so you have to pay to be able to enjoy the natural hot springs. So it's really frustrating that, like, being here, if we wanted to do a hike, like the hike we actually wanted to do, it would have cost us €50 plus taxis. If you want to do the sloths, it's about €60 each, that's €120. If you want to do the hot springs, we're going to one today that's €50 each, but there's other ones that's like 100 each. And then there's obviously rafting, zip lining, there's like all these different things. It's amazing, it's just really fucking expensive. If you add it all up, like, we could easily have spent €300-500 this week, which we have savings, we can afford it. It's just not something that I really want to be spending all my money on, because I think, I don't know, it just annoys me you have to pay for nature. Like in England, you pay for parking, of course, but you can go hiking in the lakes for as much as you want, wherever you want, basically. And I think that's the way it should be. So that's my little rant. We have seen a toucan, so we went out for lunch on the first day. I think it was the day that we arrived, actually. We went out for some food and we didn't take anything with us, literally took our phone and some money to get some fruit and veggies and get some food. Crossed the road and I saw a toucan fly into the tree, and it's a different one to the ones we saw in Tortuguero, and it's black with the, is it white and red beak? I can't remember now, I'll pop it on screen, but that was really fun. Yeah, that's La Fortuna so far. Sorry, this is like a 10-minute ramble. I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update on like where we've been, what we've done, why we're not doing like 100 activities, and the fact that it feels a little bit dodgy around here. So that's that. I'm going to go now, but I'll try and show you a little bit of the spa later on today when we go. Hopefully it's going to be amazing. It looks lovely. I'll speak to you later when we go to the hot springs. Hi guys, it's 4:30 and you can probably tell from the quality of this video that it is very dark outside. It started raining and thundering. I don't know if you can hear that. We've got thunder and lightning. So I called up the Ecothermales place and said, if it's thundering, shall we still come? And they said, oh, it's just raining where we are, so you can come. And then I was messaging them as well. That was the lightning. I messaged them and said, do you offer a refund if it thunderstorms all night? And they said yes. So I think we're going to go either way, and then maybe just hang out and listen to music and sit in the bar. If it rains all evening, and hopefully get a refund, but it's a shame because we're leaving tomorrow, so we should have done this yesterday really. Never mind. Anyway, we're going to get an Uber now and I'll show you when we get there. So this is the current situation. I don't know if I'll be able to catch some lightning before the taxi comes, but it is grey and miserable and raining. Okay, we're going in our first one. I don't have my microphones, but it is so hot. And we've got a waterfall behind us. It's so nice.